metropolitan, living in an apartment or building, and always wish to have a small patch of land where you can grow your small green plants, then you need way less than you think to realize that you can fulfill your dreams. Just a little something and you have your backyard blossom. Today on Good Life Mantra, we will suggest you how to change a forlorn space into a green haven. I am Vyomha. Welcome to Good Life Mantra. Well-chosen greenery is a great way to turn a roof or a balcony into your little oasis. Taking us deeper into this green world, I have with me Veena Nanda, who is the co-founder of Sunshine's Garden Boutique. Hi Veena, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Hi, good.
Okay, Sunshine Garden Boutique. So tell us, what is the concept of this garden boutique? Usually it's a very unusual, thing that garden boutique, in the city. So tell us about the concept.
Well, actually, this concept got, I think, embedded in my mind about 14 years back. And I've kind of over the time realized that, people don't really have budgets that they have set out for garden space. Unfortunately, that's the area which is most neglected. Even from the, if you see the stores that are available, the products that are available for any other area that you have to do up, be it a dining area, a bedroom or a living area, you have a lot of choice which is available today in the market. But when it comes to garden space, people literally have to run pillar to post for every little thing. So the idea was, one, of course, to try and bring everything under one roof. So, a person could easily do up a garden space. But then again, the concept is not about just doing up a garden with plants like people really are doing now. We want to bring in the concept of using a lot of artifacts, a lot of other products like water bodies and good garden furniture, which could actually add to the decor of a garden. So that's the concept behind the whole thing.
Okay, so can you just tell us, take us deeper into the products that you have in the store here?
Well, the products, we have a lot of artifacts which we've sourced from different countries. We also have a lot of products from different parts of India which are very unique and different. We have stuff which little chimes, we have like mushrooms, toadstools, a lot of furniture, a lot of masks. So they're kind of a mixture of different products which you could just highlight a little space, maybe a little duck here and there or a frog, which kind of adds a lot of character to a garden, basically.
Well, when I entered, I saw, there are different, actually, as you just pointed out, artifacts. Yeah. You have different, fountains and different, structures and all. Some is like, some, takes you back to the Rajasthani era. And so where do you source, all your products from?
Well, both me and my partner, who's Robin Vora, he actually is ex-army and he's traveling quite a bit. So he kind of focuses a lot on getting the products from different parts. So we have actually as of now got quite a bit of stuff from Indonesia, China, Sri Lanka, and then Africa, and borders of Gujarat and Jaipur. So it's a mixture of a lot of stuff which is in terracotta, ceramic, wooden products. It's a blend of everything actually.
So tell us about the R&D that you did before, since you have so many different products sourcing from so many different countries. So tell us about the whole the hard work and all that went to opening this boutique.
This concept actually hasn't come into the country of using artifacts. What people really do is, just because the neighbor guy has 100 plants, they just want to fill up a garden with plants. For them, doing up a garden is only plants. What I'm trying to bring across to the people is, it does not have to be plants, because people don't really understand what goes into maintaining a garden. It could be the right amount of sunlight, right kind of soil, maintenance, you have dogs at home, you have kids at home. So you've got to look at everything and then decide. So if you have a garden filled up with greenery and then you don't maintain it, sooner or later you have a shabby piece of patch in the house which people then start neglecting. They don't want to go and sit there. So the idea is, have fewer plants, keep them healthy, use the right kind of planters. You have amazing planters available today. So you have the right kind of planters and add a lot of artifacts. which adds so much more character, that becomes easier to maintain.
Okay, so what would you tell our audience that, if they have a very small balcony or a small rooftop where they can make a, garden, so what are the tips that you want to give them? How should they go about it?
Well, I would, really ask people to give a lot of importance to even if it's a smaller space available, it's very important to add a little bit of greenery to your garden. It does not have to be indoor plants. You've got a wide range available for a balcony space. We've got planters which are very light, which can easily be placed on a terrace or a balcony. So when you have these kind of right products, please do give importance to doing up a garden, doing up a balcony, and make that as important as your living room.
Okay, true. So tell us, this is about, you have first floor also upstairs. So tell us about, the different, intricately going into the different rooms here and all. What are the type of woods that you also use? So tell us more about that.
Well, we have products. I specialize in bonsais. I've been doing this for the last 25 years. And bonsais is something which, I've been teaching also for the last 15 years in Bangalore. And so this is, the store basically has, when I talk about plants, it's only bonsais that we offer. Okay. And plants which are pre-bonsai material, what we call, which are suitable for making bonsais. So any bonsai enthusiast could walk into the store for any kind of bonsai accessories, be it their ceramic planters, their tools, their fertilizers, or even the startup plants that they would require. Coming to the bonsai part of it, I would also say that since they are expensive, I also encourage people to come and learn the art of making bonsai, which I conduct classes for that as well here. So we have regular batches, both weekday and weekend batches, which are just 4 classes basically, so it's not really very tough for anybody to learn. We have a lot of bonsais there, ranging from maybe 600 to about 50,000 rupees, and we have a lot of other artifacts and water bodies which are spread all across the store. And the wooden furniture that we have is, we have a lot of teak wood, and we have some swar wood, which is also from Indonesia, and we have products made of hibiscus wood, which is again from Indonesia, and it is, the speciality of the wood is that it could be just thrown outdoors and it wouldn't get bad. So we have some Buddha figures and some fishermen and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the cost factor of these artifacts. What is the cost factor that it starts from?
It would start from anywhere maybe above 300 to 500 is the starting range, and the furniture, the products would go up to about 25,000.
Well, Veena, I'm sure our audiences, whoever are watching this episode and whoever wants to go for a landscaping solution, they know where to head from, and not only for a small area but also for a larger area. It's time for a short break now, but be back as we will dig deeper into the artifacts for your garden. So be back. Welcome back. You're watching Good Life Mantra with me, Vyomha, and me and Veena are on the terrace garden now. And Veena, I can see such a beautiful terrace garden you have. It's so, every corner you see some of the other things, kept. It beautifies the whole thing. So tell me, how did you do this, and what is the time span you took?
Well, we've got a lot of artifacts here actually, if you see. That's what I was trying to say. The idea is to get a lot of other products along with plants, which you actually can see the way we've placed. So the idea of doing up the terrace in this manner is, when anybody walks into the store, there are a lot of people who have the money, they have the space, they don't know how to really go about it.
True.
So when they walk in here, I want them to instantly get a lot of ideas as to how they could use this new concept of using a lot of artifacts with their plants. So that's the idea behind doing it up in this manner.
Okay, so artifacts, you know, you were mentioning about artifacts before also.
Yeah.
So tell us what type of artifacts can, you know, one go for?
See, with space constraints that people have with living in bungalows and is fine, but living in an apartment where they just have a little balcony space, they feel they can't do much, which is very wrong. I mean, even little products like, you know, I would say mushrooms which you get in wooden, you get, you know, mushrooms which we have in a lot of, in sandstone as well. So these kind of things, when they're kind of placed next to the, plant, would make a world of a difference, you know. And
this is really pretty.
Yeah.
As you can see, this is made out of wood, right?
Wood, yes.
Okay, which wood is this?
This is again meant for outdoors. This is, you know, the bamboo wood, which is again used.
Okay.
In this, it's the bamboo root.
Okay.
You know, and the bamboo root is, which grows in nature, it's anyway outdoors. So they're meant for outdoors totally. They could be left behind, and they come in different shapes and sizes, different postures of the ducks, which really kind of adds a lot of character to wherever you place it. You know, the space gets totally lightened up, you know.
So this is the root that is
This is the root, yeah. This is the root which has actually been taken off with a little bit of a piece attached here as the head and the legs have been put in there. You know, so there's no problem with leaving it outdoors at all. Okay. So these kind of little things make a lot of difference when you're doing up a garden space.
Absolutely.
So that's the concept behind using something like this. Or I would say we have some very pretty bird houses.
Okay.
You know.
That's so cute. I mean, you can just see the bird coming out of, you know, the nest or
so these are you know, which you can just hang out instead of always having your hanging pots with plants. You could just have some bird houses. We have some very pretty bird baths which can also be put out, which can be hung, or we have bird baths which can be placed on the ground. So these are kind of little artifacts, little things that one could, or chimes. We have an amazing collection of chimes with little dragon figures, birds, you know, ducks, which are very different, and they're all of bamboo again. Okay. So the kind of effect it gives you, the bamboo chime, is amazing. It's really,
and even, you know, the sound that
it's very soothing. It's any day better than having a metal chime. Well, I would say one should not be really, you know, clustering up the garden space. You don't really need to fill in too many products. Keep it limited. Keep, you know, have very few products around the plant area. But then it is very important that you have something there. You know, you need to do that. But if you have a larger garden space, like we do a lot of landscaping contracts, which are for larger garden areas, it could be even an entire terrace space. Then there's no end to it. You know, you can do so much. You can have a gazebo, you can, you know, have beautiful water bodies. You don't need to even build a water body today. We have some amazing water bodies at our store, which is ready to be just placed, and you have a beautiful garden there.
Okay, Veena, you just mentioned about the landscape project. So tell us, you know, what is the time span that you know, you take to set up a, you know, a terrace garden?
Well, it all depends on the amount of space that needs to be done up. We initially visit the place and try and speak to the client as to what their real requirement is, and more than just shooting out ideas and telling them what to do, we'd rather first understand what they have in mind, what is really their idea of the utility of that space, and then we come out with the ideas and we, you know, let them know as to what is the best way to do it. So in all, I would say maybe you know, by that time we come to a point of understanding with the design and the products that we're going to use. That takes about 2 to 3 weeks, and the execution depends, again, might take about 2 to 3 weeks. So in about a month and a half, I think, is the time that we normally use to do our project.
That's great, that's great. So tell us, you know, I can see very nice and beautiful and very old bonsais even. You know, one example is this,
the peepal tree.
The peepal tree. How old is this?
This is about a 25-year-old tree.
25-year-old.
Yeah.
So I can see many other bonsais here. So tell us about it. You know, I mean, you also.
Yeah, like I said, I've been I've been doing this for the last 25 years. So over the period of time, I've collected a lot of bonsais and I've been working on them myself. So they're all like well-trained bonsais, which kind of range between maybe the age group of about 2 to 3 years to even I think the oldest tree that I have is a 50-year-old ficus variety. Yeah. And the bonsais are very different because I do give a lot of importance to creating them on the rocks directly, on driftwood. Like if I can show you this, just an example of a very small bonsai which has been created directly on wood. Now this is driftwood. Now instead of all the time using a container, using a planter, a ceramic planter, which makes it look a little boring, I kind of try and be a little more creative. So these are things which really interest clients, because it adds a lot of
it's different,
it's very different. Yeah, it is very different. So the bonsais are different, and again the range of the price range is again depending on the age and the shape of the bonsai. Since they're all very well trained, yeah, we do have the expensive ones as well, but we also have bonsais ranging with about say 300 to 600, which I would say is an ideal gift when one would go in, because instead of carrying a bouquet all the time, which is kind of getting boring, and they're not cheap any longer, even they are expensive. So I would say instead of just giving a bouquet which is going to die off, I have a lot of customers walking in to buy a little bonsai which they carry as a gift.
Okay, so tell me, lastly, Veena, tell me, what is the clientele that you target?
Well, actually, of course, I'm looking at doing a lot of residential people coming in, a lot of corporates that I want to come in, and it definitely would interest a lot of builders, a lot of architects, interior designers, landscaping, people who are already into landscaping, though we provide the solutions ourselves, but the products that we have for sale are definitely which other landscaping guys can also use.
Because if you see these products, I mean they are costly for a normal person to go for. So that's why
I wouldn't say that actually, because our products, if you see the artifacts, they are not necessarily the products which have to be in a higher range. We have products starting from 200 rupees, which are little things which people can use. But yes, we do have the heavier ranged ones, which is, I think anybody walking into the store with any kind of budget is sure to find something for himself. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure our audiences are listening to this and they know where to do all the garden shopping from. Thanks a lot, Veena, for coming on the show. Thanks a lot for educating our audiences about
wonderful being on this show.
Accessories.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
a lot.
Yeah.
So guys, that was Veena Nanda for you. It's time for another short break, but be back as we have still some more garden accessories lined up only for you. So be back. Life Mantra. I am now joined by Robin Bora, who is also the co-founder of Sunshine's Garden Boutique along with Veena. Hi Robin, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Okay. Well Robin, you are, you're an ex-army man. So tell me, how did you get into, beautifying gardens?
Well, it stems from being the army, because you've always been living with the outdoors and the nature, so I guess just a natural transformation that you kind of bring the outer space into your home. Okay. So that's one reason when Veena suggested that we did need to do something. Okay. Sure, let's pitch in.
Okay, so since that time there's no looking back.
Not at all, sorry.
Okay, so you were with Veena since from the scratch of the project?
Yes, we've been working on this mentally for at least about a year now, and we put it into practice about 2 months ago.
Okay, so since Veena was telling us about the different products that you source from different countries, and she was mentioning about planters, and you also look after the planters, and also tell us about different types of planters, how should one go about it, selecting the planters for his or her garden.
Yeah, as you have been through the store and seen the huge amount of artifacts and accessories that we have, and one of the most important components of doing up a garden, whether it's the outdoors or inside your living space, is to have colorful planters. Now most often you do not find houses that have really colorful ones. They go pick up these ordinary terracotta or mud or cement from
very common.
Right? Very common. So it's not just about a plant, it's also about how the plant is living in its environment, which is a planter. Okay. Nothing like having different colors, shapes, attires, sizes of planters to do up your outer space. Okay. So keeping that in mind, we kind of sourced different kinds of planters in different mediums, whether they are in terracotta, whether they're in ceramic, whether they're in cement, or they're in wooden planter.
I can see a different, a number of planters, kept here. So tell us about, these planters. How are they very similar, or are they just different in color or in texture, or what is the difference?
Well, we can start. You see, now here we have a wooden planter.
Okay.
Now this is typically people are scared to keep wooden planters because they feel that the wood is going to get worn out of some time. So here we have a wooden planter wherein you can put the soil directly inside it and grow a plant inside it. You don't have to put a pot inside it.
Okay.
So this is a wooden planter which comes in different shapes, different sizes. You have long ones, old ones, whatever, and different sizes.
So there you have it, guys. You can also go for a wooden planter, and if you're thinking that wood is not feasible enough in your gardens, that you are definitely wrong. Well, this is the wooden planter that you can go for. Okay, next, Robin, what next?
These are certain planters which are coming from Germany. They are made of polypropylene.
This is a planter?
Yes, this is a planter.
It looks very different and very unusual.
Yes, it looks like a scientific little apparatus which you have this tube.
I was just going to say that you have this test tube or something.
Yes, yes. You see, this is a new concept called as, it's a self-irrigating planter.
Okay.
The technology behind it is very simple, that you see most of us working couples do not have time, they have to travel a lot. They find it very difficult to maintain plants in their house or outside because they have to be watered every day.
Yeah.
Now this planter takes care of that problem.
Okay.
These are called self-irrigating planters, wherein it comes in two compartments. One is the outer shell and the other one is the inner shell.
Okay, so the inner shell is just a simple,
it's a container.
Simple container.
Yes.
And then what I think the most important is the out.
Here, this is where, inside this is where you put in your soil.
Okay.
And you grow the plant directly into it. You water it from here, from this hole over here.
Okay.
Right? And you keep filling up the outer container till such time your water level reaches a level pointed out over here.
Okay, but how, for how long does the plant sustain this water?
From the people who are making it and who sent us the literature say that anything about 1.5 months to 2 months you do not have to worry about watering the plants.
Okay, that's really great concept. I think as just Robin just pointed out that this container, self-irrigation container, it is called or rather a planter. This is definitely for people who travel a lot, who don't have much time to look after their plants. So you don't need to water for almost a month
and a half. Yes.
Month and a half. That's really great.
And these come in different shapes. For example, even this is the same. Only this is in a round shape.
Okay.
And the kit goes inside over here.
Okay.
They come in different colors, different textures, different shapes.
Okay.
So it's there to suit any kind of requirement.
And it's so colorful, definitely it'll look, it'll add to the whole garden, it'll make it look more colorful. These are from?
They are from Germany.
Germany, okay. So moving further, what about
this? Yes, this is a wall planter.
Okay.
Yeah. Just put outside your stake, wherever you want to do it, put a pot inside and you can have a wall planter.
Okay.
This is a hanging planter now.
Okay. Yeah, this is,
different.
Yeah.
These are in ceramic.
Okay, so now moving further, we have, these big planters here. So
also.
Why not, just tell us about...
Now this is a terracotta planter. This is a terracotta planter.
Okay.
This comes from Gujarat. And you can see it's a beautiful piece of work.
It's beautiful, right? Seriously. It's a peacock.
Yes. Now it's got a nice little hole over here where you can put your pot, or you can also put the mud directly over here and you can grow a plant over here.
Okay.
Now this, look at this way. It's an artifact that you can keep in your drawing room.
It'll look beautiful, no doubt.
Right.
It'll look, it'll add that whole antique look to the whole living room. And definitely, it's a very unique planter that I've seen.
These are the other planters I said, the self-irrigating ones. Like I said, they come in different sizes, texture. The other one I showed you before was in a polished finish. This is a matte finish.
Okay.
Again, they have the inside. You see that is where the kit comes in for self-irrigating the planter. They come in all kinds of colors and beautiful shapes, apart from just a circular one. They come in a different kind of shapes also. Then of course you have the other planters, which these are again ceramic planters. They have coming from Vietnam. fine shape, very heavy, can be kept indoors, can be kept outdoors. You can grow a large plant into it.
Okay, so Robin, I can see there, there are big planters kept over there. So tell us, what type of planters are those?
See, we have different mediums over here. That's terracotta. This is again in ceramic.
Okay.
That is in ceramic.
Okay.
This is again terracotta. That's again terracotta. Now this terracotta comes from Italy.
Okay.
And that ethnic terracotta comes from Rajasthan, Gujarat area.
Okay. Well, I can see some, designs carved on this terracotta planter. So tell us, what design is that? I mean.
Well, it's I think the artist has created an Egyptian kind of a pattern around it.
Yeah.
To add to its thing, then you have a little fish design over here.
Okay.
Basically, look, it's such a simple pot. It's just terracotta.
Yeah.
But just by putting this little band around it, you add to the beauty of that.
Definitely. And the one there that's kept, it gives a very Gujarati and a very Rajasthani touch to it with the beads used and with the shells that is,
Yes.
placed or rather pasted on it.
Yes.
I think it's a beautiful one. Well, I'm sure, our audiences are listening to this. Thanks a lot, Robin, for coming on the show and for telling us more about the planters and what options you can go for. Thank
you so much for coming here.
Your plans and jazz up the look of your backyard. But remember, once you have tasted all the joys of a concept garden, you can never get back to your empty space again. On that note, I'll take your leave, but if you have any suggestions or feedbacks, then mail us at response@news9live.com. Till then, go green and stay green.